Hello, beautiful rays of light. Lindsay Lee here, coming at you with Michelle Leeper. The course that we are running, the program that we are running is called Mapping Empowerment Embodied Artist of the Spirit. And we have decided to extend enrollment for another week. So we're not going to start until Saturday, March 2nd. And we wanted to come in and talk to you a little bit about why we're running this course and what brought us here.
Yes. Thank you, Lindsay. So, yeah, I think it's really important to add that we met in
Mhm.
an embodiment container.
Mhm.
And so both of us having um, our own reasons for being called to this type of work, this healing modality in particular. Um, And so I love that we got to journey together, even if we weren't in some of the same classes up until like the third round. Um, this was a whole year experience for us. And I just remember being in class, also on a Saturday and meeting Lindsay in this class for the first time. And it was like, whoa, what is this sensation that is happening in my cells, like in my atoms and like I was so lit up witnessing my soul sister move her body to be able to read another person's stories, um experiences, and feel that energy um doing all of the things that it does when we allow ourselves to melt in and release. Um, so it was the craziest sensation. I felt like I literally was in Lindsay's body, moving with her. It was like that synergy, that relatability. It was like there was no separation. It was really identifying what was alive in my own body, in my energy field, by witnessing another woman moving her energy as well. And so that really is part of the magic and the potency of having these group containers with other women. So not only being witnessed, but being in the privilege of witnessing. And so that's why we are doing it for 12 weeks. Um, because it allows for the time and the co-creation to really drop in and become more intimately connected with ourselves. I know um part of my pain, it was pain, was
Yeah.
that I did not know how to be in my body. And I'm telling you, I did like 10 years of Meisner method acting training and all of these things, and professional voice lessons, other, ways that I expressed myself in the past. And there was always this mind body disconnect. And it was the feedback that my coaches always came back to, so it was like I took a lot of different classes to try to like make this connection, uh and it wasn't until I personally discovered the somatic dance embodiment that it clicked. It was like the light came on, and it wasn't intellectual. It was like in my bloodstream. It was in my cells. It was in my muscles, my tissue, my bones. And it was like, that's what's been missing,
Yeah.
but before I had that experience of complete like liberation within my skin, I was so disconnected from my body. in so many ways. My hips had very limited movement. I would try to do yoga, hip opening exercises, um, different ways of really, really trying to melt whatever was in there, And after I started doing this work, I had a reaction that was like pretty out of this world, where and this isn't to scare anybody off, but I'm sharing it because it really is, well, it's my truth. It's my truth. And I had so much emotional blockage going on in different areas of my body that after I started releasing, I literally went into anaphylactic shock, went to the ER, and actually they had to give me like an injection, but it was like my body was allergic to itself. Like the detox that happened. Oh my gosh. It almost brings me to tears now because it was so profound. And this is why I am here now to walk other women through this work, because our bodies remember everything,
Mhm.
you know?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is fun, and it's also a way to like connect with other women and really get juicy and, sensual and all of those things.
Yeah.
But the real healing happens in the safety of being held by your sisters, by other women. So whatever person's reasons are that led them up to this point. And Lindsay, I know you're going to share some of your story too. Um, just start. Just start somewhere. Give yourself permission to just feel the sensations in your body, to breathe into those pain points and allow them to melt. I mean, this will change your life, you know? Um, I'm not going to say that this is a once and done thing, because I don't think that any program is a once and done thing.
Right.
But this was the thing for me. And I feel so passionate about it because of the way it not only allowed me to be comfortable in my own skin again, um, but it freed up space. It created so much spaciousness in the way that I show up and interact with other human beings, with my children, with my friends, and on, just all relationships. Like I spent so much time not in my body that I didn't realize how much I was not physically present in my life. And that once I allowed myself to take the journey, that everything else just started flowing. So I could talk about this all day, but I am going to be complete with that because Lindsay, I want you to chime in and share some of your experience about why you were called to this work and why you feel so passionate about sharing it with other women as well.
Mm.
And I know that you actually, I want to back up just a moment. Thank you for your patience. You are also an embodiment coach.
Mhm.
But in this course,
Yeah.
you are re-excavating, coming home to
Mm.
your artist self.
Mhm.
And you're sharing that with the rest of us as well.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Yeah, we initially met through embodiment, and I was in grad school and I was sitting and editing easily 10 hours worth of video. And I remember feeling so cramped up and so tight in my body. I was like, I just need to move. And what I ended up doing was I ended up projecting the video onto these large walls. And then I laid down like 8 foot, 10 foot paper on the floor. and I began essentially dancing, but with charcoal. And I was taking charcoal in both hands and just tracing my silhouette and dancing, surrendering to my breath and allowing this movement to happen, and that I called lyrical because I didn't know what else to call it. And fast forward a couple of years, I'm out of grad school, I'm going through a divorce, I'm feeling super out of my body, feeling super strange, started a new job, moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm teaching, and I'm in a massive car accident. And I walk away with a traumatic brain injury. And suddenly I'm in the deepest brain fog. I'm super disconnected from my body. I physically cannot feel my legs. I physically cannot feel my hands. And as an artist, to not be able to feel your hands, I'm like, my colleagues are like, you need to be showing your work. And I'm like, I can't even make work. Like, I'm not in the place to be making anything or creating anything. And watching our who I would say mentor, Lindsay Martin Ellis, watching her go through this massive transformation through somatic dance movement, I'm like, my soul was like, whatever she's doing, you need to be doing that. And so I enrolled in her first course, and literally all that I can do, my idea of dance was stand up, sit down, move my shoulders. Okay, I'm exhausted. Can I go to bed now? Like, that's just where I was. But I kept showing up because I believed and trusted in my instincts that this movement is going to help connect me back to home. And with time and with commitment and trust, connecting to my breath, connecting to my intuition, connecting to my intention, and trusting how my body was moving, suddenly I was like, by level 3, I was moving in a way where I would be like, oh, she's a dancer. And I didn't even, like, I wouldn't consider myself a dancer. I'm like, yeah, I like going to the club. I like shaking my booty, whatever. Like, oh no, something is really happening here. My body is expressing its desire to move in a way that I'd never encountered before. And suddenly I'm unlocking a way of living life and breathing into life and living with a level of vitality and confidence that I've never had before, all because of this work. And so getting back to my roots of facilitating healing through the lens of creative visual art, I think back to why I've created a career basically of 23 years of being an artist. And I look at my own body of work and I'm like, I was creatively expressing my way out of the masks that I had put on. Oh, you think that I should be this way? Let me put that mask on and let me embody that, because that's how I should be navigating this world. And unlearning that through creative exploration and using a visual language to talk about the things that I verbally could not express because I just didn't have the words quite yet. And I've discovered on a limited adjunct budget that you don't need fancy, art supplies. You can do it with pen and paper and your intention. And that's what I get to facilitate this time around. And I'm so excited to meet you and to be collaborating with you in this way of like, oh yeah, I get to come back home to me of the visual artist and express this visual language, because the feminine is creativity. And it's through dance, and it's through voice, and it's through singing, and it's through movement, and it's, the dance of the paintbrush with the paint. It's the dance of the charcoal, if you so choose to do 8-foot drawings, or if you so choose to do 8 inches by 8 inches, whatever it is. And so I'm just so grateful to have this opportunity to hold space for other women to creatively express the things that they've been holding in and don't really know how to unlock those parts of themselves yet. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say, it's like, as a person who's taken a lot of different courses, we're always looking for the buzzwords and like feeling into it. Does this resonate with me? Is this true for me? You know, and the truth is that you're going to get out of it what you allow yourself to put into it. You
Absolutely.
know,
Hmm.
if you're going to allow yourself to really feel into it from the neck down, get the F out of your head and
Yes.
really feel what it feels like to be embodied, you know?
Hmm.
And a lot of it for me was just to touch on what you said, healing the feminine wounds,
Yeah.
you know? I had so much sacred rage in my hips, in my womb, you know, from um sexual assault, from both of my pregnancies, you know? And yeah, we're going to go there because we don't have to be polite about this.
Yeah.
We all have our stories.
Hmm.
Big T, little t, doesn't matter. Once again, our bodies remember. But I want to bring it back around to, you know, what I got out of it, you know? So I can't tell anybody else what they're going to get out of it. Once
Right.
again, it's just my honor and privilege to hold the space with and for.
Mhm.
Um, and it's like Lindsay and I, we're not above, we're not separate from,
Right.
you know. I mean, on the daily, there are constant life initiations that cause us to contract
Yeah.
and cause us to disassociate from our physical being. You know, it's like we go into autopilot, we get caught in the drift. But this is a way that we can return to that inner sanctuary, that inner flame that belongs to us, that is absolutely ours. That is our essence,
Mhm.
beyond image. You talked about the masks. Who hasn't been 1,000 different women? You know, look at the cultural and the society that we have been born into, that we have grown up in, you know. So as a result of doing this work, I wrote 2 books, published 2 books, became a best-selling author, and, you know, started my own signature course, which is actually called Becoming Sanctuary. Um, and then this is actually Lindsay's and my second collaboration because we just published an anthology together in November of 23. And so, yeah, this is also about the feminine rising,
Yep.
right? This is really what it gets to look like and feel like when women are supporting each other,
Yeah.
not pitting ourselves against each other,
Yeah.
not in that energy of jealousy or comparison or any of those things. This is not about performance in
Right.
any way. This is about true intimacy with ourselves and with others, you
Yeah.
know? So, oh, it is really truly my biggest heart's desire for for every woman to really feel what that is. I didn't realize I didn't know what that was until I took this journey. You know, the magic is in the surrender. The magic is in who we become along the way. So once again, you know, I could type out some you know, what you're going to get out of this. But really, it's about the surrender. It's about taking a risk. It's about showing up. It's about self devotion, as well as being there to support other women who are also on the journey, you
Right.
know, and we get to witness who we become along the way. And that is the power. That is the magic in the experience. So
Mm.
I'm going to be complete with that. I
Oh,
hope you felt it though, because I'm
I
speaking the truth.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, more than anything, we encourage women to feel empowered, walking away as your best and whole self. And feeling the feels is not always fun. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable and you have resistance to even show up to the video call. But when you do, when you lean into that uncomfortable, when you lean into that shaky place, that's the vulnerability of, that's the heart-centeredness. That's when you really begin to grow. That's huge. Sending you so, so much love. Please reach out to either Michelle or myself. We are happy to hold space both with and for you. Sending you love, beautiful light.
Thank you for tuning in, ladies. Bye.